It's October now, and that means Spooky Month is in session. I mean, I already made a Halloween-themed video, but that's part of a series, so it doesn't really count. Anyway, so today I'm with Boxmation to talk about the most spooky people in history, so let's begin in random order. Vlad Dracula was born in Sigiswara, Transylvania, sometime during late fall of 1431. He was the son of Vlad Dracula, the voivode of Wallachia. When he was 11 years old, Vlad was taken as an Ottoman hostage by Murad II. Vlad's dad and eldest brother were killed 5 years later when Vlad was just 16 years old. In his adult life, Vlad would go on to do extremely horrible things like kill a bunch of people for the funnies. His deadliest attack would be the Battle of Targovist. For context, in 1453, Constantinople fell, causing Sultan Mehmed II to expand his territory of the Ottoman Empire. In 1462, the battle actually happened and ended with casualties on the Ottoman side reaching up to 15,000 dead and only 5,000 dead on the Wallachia side. Vlad left all the Ottoman bodies impaled on spikes that would show anyone who arrives how much of a threat he really was. However, the battle didn't mean Vlad won, it was actually the Ottomans. As you can probably guess, Vlad Dracula was the inspiration for the 1897 book called Dracula, and almost a century later, Count Chocula was invented. It is now one of my favorite cereals. Alright, next up, Jack the Ripper.
Britain in the 19th century. What a time to be alive. It covered a majority of the world's land, it was the height of the Victorian era, and a deranged serial killer was on the loose. The first report of the mysterious man was around midnight on August 31st, 1888. There was this woman. Her name was Marianne Nichols. Nichols was out at the pub drinking. She went home, realized she was poor, and went back on the streets to do some certain activities for money. Later in the night, she goes on a walk and gets killed sometime between 2:30 to 3:10 a.m. A man walking on the side of the road notices Nicole's corpse and calls the cops. One of the initial suspects was Montague John Durrett. However, he was later proven not to be the killer. While all this was happening, he would send out letters to the victims to taunt them. Jack the Ripper would later go on to kill a total of 5 people, but we still don't know the actual amount to this day.
In 1905, Russia was just starting its first revolution, and at the same time, Tsar Nicholas II's son, Alexei, was suffering from hemophilia, a disease that would make it difficult for the body to have blood clots, which would make a small cut a huge mess. Anyway, the Russian court members brought in their new friend who could allegedly heal people with his magic powers, and his name was Grigory Rasputin. Good news, after a while, Alexei was healed. But enough about Alexei, we're talking about Rasputin. After the healing, Rasputin continued to stick around the Russian family, and many believed that he was sleeping with Nicholas's wife, Alexandria. These rumors weren't actually confirmed, but they were fueled by Rasputin's weird behavior and just overall skepticism from the public. Despite all this, his presence was still growing within the Russian court along with the hatred for him, and he soon got the nickname the Mad Monk because many believed that he was at the helm of all of this. Then he abruptly died in December of 1916 after getting thrown in a river.
We all know the Bloody Mary challenge, right? Go in front of the mirror, say her name 3 times, and you see her. Well, where did this originate from? Mary I, of course. For historical context, Mary was the 5th child that Henry VIII had, however the first one that surpassed child mortality. In her adult years when she was the queen, Mary was a huge Catholic and really hated Protestants, which is a different branch of Christianity. She hated Protestants to the point where she had them burnt to death. She tried to change England into a Catholic country, but failed to do that. And she also tried to kill her cousin out of fear she would take over. At this point, people were sick of her actions, and it wasn't a secret. So then people got together and burnt her alive. Nah, I'm kidding. Mary would actually die at the age of 42 in 1558 from possibly womb cancer. How does this link with the ritual? It's unclear, but it's believed to form around the early 1900s, with people bringing a candle in a bathroom and chanting Bloody Mary's name. But I think you know the rest. It got popular in the mid-2010s with 3 a.m. challenges, yada yada, YouTube clickbait.
To finish off this video, I'm going to talk about H.H. Holmes, one of America's earliest serial killers. Holmes' real name was Herman Webster Mudgett, so I'll just refer to him as Herman because Herman is a funny name. Herman was born on May 16, 1861 in Gilmanton, New Hampshire. In the case of most serial killers, in his early life, Herman was victim to his father's physical abuse and punishments. Herman was a really good student in school, and he also had an interest in death, which isn't really a good combination because he soon decided that dissecting animals was his favorite hobby. He grew up, went to university, graduated and got a medical degree and also lied about being a doctor. Herman's first victim was Julia Connors, his mistress. With limited information I could gather, it seems like Herman's motive to kill Julia was that he wanted to cover up his affairs. He decided to kill a few extra people and commit more crimes like fraud, forgery, and worst of all, horse theft. He was later executed in 1891 by hanging. So what's the point of this video? I don't know, I was bored. I just realized it was October and I was like, boom bada bang, this video idea was made. I don't have much else to say other than go check out Halloween 3 the trilogy and happy holidays.
Don't forget to watch Christmas Movies 3 on December 16th!
It tastes good like soul food. Parked up outside in the old school. The new me back with the OU. The dog always find his way back home and it's so true. Later on through and pop one.